All right, well, welcome everyone. My name is Sarah Smith. I work for GHP Group Health Plan, and I'm the Health Education Associate over at GHP, so my job is to come out in front of all of you and work with you on kind of increasing your activity levels, talk a little bit about nutrition, stress management, and so forth. So today we are going to be talking about fitness, specifically getting fit at work. The reason we talk about activity is because inactivity does lead to multiple illnesses and diseases such as osteoporosis, diabetes, obesity, and heart disease, which is the #1 cause of death in this country right now. And it's just as simple as increasing activity levels. It doesn't necessarily have to be a full out-fledged fitness routine at the gym or whatnot. We just want to talk about simple things that we can do to increase activity throughout the day. So we're actually going to break down the day and talk about each area on this slide. So we're going to talk about planning, things that we can do while we're on our way to work, things we can do at our desk while we're taking a break, on our lunch break, business trips or just trips in general, and then most importantly, how to stay motivated, because that usually tends to be the hardest part about it. Okay, so first off, let's talk a little bit about planning. The first thing that we want to do is we want to set a goal. Now the thing with goals is that they need to be 1, measurable, and 2, observable. So a very general goal like losing weight or getting in shape is a great idea, but it's not something that's tangible. What we want to do is narrow down that goal. So maybe something like, I would like to lose 10 pounds in 4 months. Or I would like to walk 2 miles a day for 6 days a week. That's a goal that's more measurable and observable, and that we can actually see and achieve. Another thing we want to do is we want to create our own vision of success. A lot of athletes, what they do is they actually vision themselves winning the game or coming first in the race. And for some reason, research shows that when we create that vision of who we want to be and we believe in it, we're more likely to achieve our goals. Another thing that you want to keep in mind is that not all goals are out of your reach. If you think about it, for example, take all the people out there that are just regular people that decide that they want to run a marathon, which could sound like a pretty extreme goal, 26 miles. But there's so many people out there who do it, and they're just regular people who have never exercised before. Well, what they do is they break down that goal into mini goals throughout the weeks, and they plan ahead. So just keep in mind that you can do whatever you set your mind to. You may just have to break out your larger goal and take it down to a smaller goal on a weekly basis. Next off is schedule. We all are set on a schedule, whether it's our own schedule or a schedule someone sets for us, like the work schedule. But what we need to know is we need to know our schedule. What do you have going on in the next week? When are you going to be able to fit in exercise? So kind of get a grip of your schedule beforehand, maybe like 7 days beforehand. If you're good at that, awesome. If you're not, just maybe take a look at your planner and see what you have going on so that you can kind of start thinking about when is the best time for you to fit in that activity. And then add it into your calendar. This is so important. Just like we would add a doctor's appointment into our calendar or a lunch that we're doing with a friend, we need to schedule in our exercise. Even once we get used to it, still schedule it. If anything, it's something we can check off, make ourselves feel better about that we completed. But just schedule it in wherever it is, whether it's your work calendar or your planner that you keep in your purse or your phone. It doesn't matter, but as long as you have it scheduled, it brings up that priority level of our exercise. Always have a pair of walking shoes with you, whether it's at your desk or in your car. You never know when you're going to feel like getting out and getting some extra exercise. Time and schedules change, so time may develop where we could just go out for a quick walk or where we could stop by the park or whatever you have in mind that you're looking for. But the bottom line is we can't do it in dress shoes. It's not comfortable, it's not good for us. So keep a pair of walking shoes either in your car or at your desk so that you always have available to you. Okay, so your gym bag or your bag, it doesn't have to be a gym bag, but your bag of materials that you need to exercise. And for some, it just may be a pair of shoes. For others, it may be a whole new outfit, some face wash, some deodorant, whatnot. Pack that stuff the night before. And the reason being is because no matter how early we get up, most of us tend to run out of time in the morning and we're running a little bit late. And if we forget one item in the morning or we run out of time and we don't pack our bag, we're less likely to go exercise, especially if we don't have our equipment. So pack your bag the night before, start it. It will become a habit after a while. You can do it right when you get home, unpack from today and then repack for tomorrow. And then that way you have everything you need. So you have one less excuse not to exercise. Find someone here or just someone in general that you can exercise with. It's always more enjoyable to have a friend to talk to and to kind of keep you up on your goals, to keep you accountable for what you want to reach. Vice versa, you can also help keep someone else accountable. And if you have the same goal, that's even better because then you'll really be on the same plan. So find someone, just ask around and see if there's anyone who would like to do this with you. Warming up. This usually gets overlooked because of time concerns, but it is so important. Typically a warm-up only lasts about 8 to 12 minutes, and whether it's just some jumping jacks or some stretches or some crunches, anything to get that blood flowing, to kind of wake up your muscles and your joints. Even if you're warm, like say you don't feel cold or anything, but still your muscles haven't been active, so still do some type of warm-up. And then this is another great thing that we can do with planning ahead, is planning ahead our food and our snacks. It does take some getting used to it first. You will probably have to add on a snacks category on your grocery list. But bring things with you that you can have as a healthy alternative. One, because when you exercise, you're going to get a little bit more hungry. And if you don't have food with you, we're more likely to go to the vending machine or go over and grab something at the Quick Mart. So pack things that are portable and that, if you don't have access to a fridge, whether you buy cooler packs or they just don't need refrigeration. So some examples would be with your fruit. Apples, oranges, and bananas, they last the longest and they don't necessarily need to be refrigerated. So that's good things to kind of just keep at your desk. Dried fruit is another good option. Nuts, seeds, those are all good things that you can kind of portion out and pre-baggy for 5 days. I wouldn't necessarily bring the whole bag of nuts to work. That could be an issue after a while. But pre-baggy it. So maybe at night, pre-baggy out your trail mix. Also, veggies, cut up carrots, cut up cucumbers, broccoli, whatever is your favorite. There's a lot of different ones. If you can spend a little bit more money and get them already pre-cut, that works. It's a little bit cheaper just to buy the whole vegetable. Cut it up, maybe choose one day a week that when you go grocery shopping, just cut it all up, put it in containers, put it in the fridge, put it visible. I know we have those vegetable and fruit bins, but we can't see in them, so we forget. How many of you guys have opened up and you're like, ooh, I forgot that was there and it's disgusting? So just put it on that shelf. You're more likely to grab it when you can see it. What else? Yogurt is always a good option, and protein bars. Now with protein bars, the one thing you want to watch out for is your calories, because some of them are actually considered meal replacement bars. And also watch out for your sugars, because a lot of them have just as much sugar as a candy bar. But there are some good options for you, and another good idea for snacks would be whole grain crackers. That's because most of us tend not to get enough whole grains in our diet. We're more the refined. So a good way to add whole grains pretty quickly is just adding in some whole grain crackers. And when you look for whole grain, look for the word whole as the first ingredient. That way you know it truly is a whole grain.